Statement on the amendment.
Thank you, Chair. Members of this committee on both sides of the aisle support efficiency and predictability in our nation's regulatory programs. Unfortunately, the changes that this bill makes go beyond promoting efficiency and predictability. The bill weakens the bedrock Clean Water Act protections, and accordingly, I'd ask members to oppose it. Democrats want to pass bills that invest in our infrastructure and get projects done faster. That's why we passed the bipartisan infrastructure law and invested billions in all types of infrastructure for communities nationwide. Fully funding projects and the federal agencies charged with approving these projects is the quickest way to get our infrastructure constructed and updated. This package of bills, on the other hand, is likely to slow down the permitting process and is certain to create ambiguity in other aspects of the law. Proponents of the legislation say it will enhance regulatory certainty for municipal wastewater treatment facilities. However, in doing so, the legislation also weakens requirements on mining operations and landfills while also removing any incentive for industrial and toxic discharges to report to federal and state agencies the unregulated chemical mixtures that may emanate from their facilities. This bill amends an already streamlined process for projects with minimal adverse impacts, lowering the bar so larger projects with potentially greater indirect impacts can evade scrutiny. This bill limits judicial review while also opening informal agency actions to court challenge. Simply put, if the goal is clarity, consistency, and expediency, this bill fails. The changes proposed in this legislation need to be viewed in the context of the Supreme Court's Sackett versus EPA decision, which drastically reduced the scope of discharges and activities subject to the Clean Water Act protections. This bill seeks to further narrow the scope of discharges and activities subject to review and limitation, and is likely to further hamper efforts to protect our nation's waters. I do look forward to working with my colleagues on bipartisan, effective legislation that will upgrade our infrastructure, build our economy, and create jobs. I just will also note that this committee has a great history this year of bipartisan work. We're going to continue that work together. I just note that when it comes to Clean Water Act, we do have our differences, and we're going to continue to argue and debate those differences. So I oppose this bill and urge my colleagues to do the same. I yield back.
Thank you, Rick. I now recognize myself for 5 minutes for my statement.